Hello, so this is my vlog for my trip to Norway. It was meant to be a trip to France, but after they introduced a quarantine, I had to change our plans last minute. So I feel quite fortunate. I was actually able to find decent price flights at only a week's notice. So originally I came up on the train last night and was originally going to get the Eurostar to France, but instead booked my flights for today. So I stayed over at the Holiday Inn at Stansted Airport, which was a bit naff, to be honest. Um, Definitely not as good as Premier Inn. I didn't think I'd ever think somewhere was worse than Premier Inn, but Premier Inn actually was much better. If I'd gone when I came last time, it was better than the Holiday Inn was where I stayed. But this is not the Spire, not this, the Escape Lounge in Stansted Airport, and it's fairly nice. Before I've got a little seat in the corner, so got my privacy. Got my food coming, and I will check back in with you in a bit. So I'm in Norway now. Had my Ryanair flight. The fact that I paid for extra leg room meant it was alright because I could actually, move my legs, which was great. Now I'm on the train to Oslo Central, and this very fancy looking train. It kind of puts Northern Rail to shame. It's very futuristic. It looks a bit like Starship Enterprise. It's a very fancy train. I think it's just about 15 minutes into Oslo Central. Then I'll go see the Norwegian version of Premier Inn, which is called City Box apparently. I'm staying at a City Box hotel in Oslo, and then a City Box hotel in Bergen, and that's the last destination on this trip. So I'm going from Oslo, then I'm going to a place called Voss. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but that's how I am. And then staying in Bergen last. So yep, see you soon. So I've arrived at the hotel, and this is nothing like Premier Inn. It's more like student accommodation, but it's pretty fancy downstairs. And I think it's quite clever because everything's automatic check-in, and it's just a fairly new build, but also it's got very much a student vibe about it. But this looks absolutely fine for what I just need for 2 nights. So yeah. So it's the second day out here in Oslo. Slept well last night, to be fair, no, there wasn't any air conditioning, but it's not like not the end of the world. So I've come out to see Oslo today. I was meant to go on a walking tour, but well, it got cancelled, so I'm doing it on my own, which I guess it should be fine. There's actually, when I went too near the train station, it turns out there's kind of a pre-planned walking tour, and there's kind of spots along the promenade which go all the way around. I'm in the middle of it, so I'm not going to walk to the end to the back of myself, but start at number 10 and I'm going to go down to number 3, because I'm going to want that all the way around the outside. I've started here by the Opera House, which is actually quite a strange building. Lots of slopes, so it's fairly quite modern. And it goes around, and you've got like a little pool, well not a pool, but like a water feature, and then a train station in the background. So yeah, my self-guide of Oslo, and we'll see how it goes. So this is the tour route along the promenade. So I start at number 10 over here where the Opera House is. I'm at number 9 now. I'm going to go all the way around, maybe down to number 2. Quite cool though, is there's actually a lot of information next to it. So there's opportunities for learning, yay! Although it's quite interesting, to be fair. It's telling about the history and what kind of used to be here, and I think it's quite difficult to miss these massive orange information points with the big numbers on the side. So yeah, let's see what we find out about Oslo. past the number 7 marker on the promenade. Stopped at a little cafe. The view of kind of the boats in the what you call it, the yard. You've got Oslo fjords in the background. Not quite as impressive as the fjords in the more central areas of Norway, which I'll see in a few days, but still quite nice. I think on the way back, I'm gonna, like I did when I was in Berlin, get one of the Lime scooters and come back the way I did along the promenade. Just because why not while I'm here. Yeah, so speak soon. So I got to the end of the walking tour, even though technically it's the beginning because this is a 1. I cheated a bit. When I got to 2 I got on a Lime scooter, as I mentioned earlier, and did the last part of the journey on the scooter, which is pretty cool. So you pay for the miles you do. So I went from number 10 on the map all the way across to number 1, and now all this was all along the promenade. So now I'm going to go back along the promenade, back to the centre of Oslo. I might do beyond 10, might do like 11, 12, we'll see, because I started at 10, so I have to go beyond where I started, but we'll see. So I've done all apart from one of the stops along the promenade. You can see number 13 in the background. I tried to find 14, but it just seemed to be in the middle of nowhere. So I'm going for 13. 13 didn't quit, but it's taken me all kind of along the promenade. So it's been quite useful to say that my tour got cancelled. Just where I am, so fine. So yes, I'm going to go back now and get some food, and then tomorrow is the train through the Norwegian countryside through to Voss. Meant to be one of the best scenic routes in Europe, so that should be good. So see you tomorrow.